Good evening. It's the 6th of December today, I think. Yes, it is. So it's the 6th of December today, which means day 6 of Vlogmas. So first of all, let me quickly apologise for how short yesterday's Vlogmas video was. Yesterday ended up running away from me a little bit. Although, the work that I did do later on in the evening where I was sitting there doodling out some little characters, I think are actually going to come in quite handy because I'm going to hopefully use them to create some children's like art and craft tutorial. I'll show you them properly in a little bit because I'm going to work on them tonight. I also today really want to start painting a bauble. I've already done a little bit of knitting this morning. In fact, that's probably the main thing that I've done so far today, other than video editing, has done some knitting. But yeah, making progress on my little knitting project. It did make me laugh the other day when I was sitting there editing one of my recent, I can't remember which one it was now, one of my recent vlogmases. I noticed that when I do knitting I pull like a really silly face and it just made me chuckle. I don't know if I pulled it when I was working on my knitting today. Eagle-eyed amongst you might see me pulling a couple of strange faces when I'm doing my knitting. I think it's just my concentration face, but yeah, it did make me chuckle a little bit. Right, first things first, I need to sit and paint a little daily doodle. Okay, so quick little update. I just finished working on my little Polar Bear daily doodle for today. I think he turned out proper cute. His nose is a little bit short, but yeah, just a proper cute, fluffy little polar bear. And he's quite colourful as well, which I like. I think it's always surprising when you come to paint animals that are like seen as just being white or like one colour. If you actually look close enough, there's quite a lot of different colours in them. Like this one had loads of greens and browns and bits of purple. Just a very colourful little polar bear. So I was quite happy with how he turned out. The other thing that I sat and managed to work on for a little bit was created a thumbnail for yesterday's Vlogmas. For the first time this Vlogmas series, actually quite pleased with how the thumbnail for yesterday's Vlogmas came out. Let me just quickly show you it. So yeah, this is the little thumbnail that I ended up making for yesterday's Vlogmas. Don't normally like putting my massive moon face on things, but I just randomly found that little clip of me. So what I tend to do is when I'm creating thumbnails, I get like little clips off of the video and then just kind of use that. I should probably really take pictures as I go along, it might make it easier, but yeah, that's my little thumbnail for yesterday's Vlogmas. As I say, it is my preferred thumbnail. I definitely prefer it to the day before that thumbnail. That was like probably one of the worst thumbnails I've ever made in my life, but I just kind of had to get it done and uploaded. Right, anyway, let's talk about what we're going to do next because I need to get some proper work done. So if you watched yesterday's Vlogmas video, you would have seen me at the end of it sitting there coming up with these little character Christmas doodles. Let me just quickly show you the ones which I particularly like. So yeah, these are the little character doodles that I ended up doing at the end of yesterday's vlog. The ones in purple are kind of like the ones which I want to develop a bit further because I really like the idea and the start of them. So particularly love Mr. T-Rex with his little Christmas present. Absolutely adore this little dinosaur with his little teddy bear friend. Little Santa bear reading his little storybook. This one has potential but needs a bit of work. Santa, and then a couple of little, I can't decide if they're going to be angels, elves, or just little kid characters, but I quite like the positions that their arms are in. And I actually quite like Mr. Mouse and little deer. And this bear has potential as well. So yeah, they are the little doodles that I done at the end of yesterday's Vlogmas. I think what I want to do for a little bit tonight before I get on with other work is I kind of need to sit and draw them out onto some better pieces of paper. What I want to end up doing is creating some little kids art and craft video tutorials on how to draw the little Christmas characters. So what I need to do is get them onto some separate paper. I was intending to colour them in, but I've realised that my nephew's colouring pens are all like out in the living room, so I might end up colouring them tomorrow, but I kind of just want to get them drawn out and properly figure out how I can like break them down into teachable shapes and stuff like that. I'm not going to spend too long doing that because I do also want to get on with some other things tonight. But yeah, I feel like it would be quite a good idea just to get them sketched out so that when I come to like filming different art and craft tutorials, I can then describe what's going on a bit better, can show what you're aiming to illustrate, and then do stuff like that. So it's all part of like planning out my little how to draw Christmas video tutorials. I would eventually like to do some like craft video tutorials as well, but the trouble with doing craft ones is that obviously you have to have the crafting supplies in beforehand. But yeah, I've got loads of different ideas of different kids Christmas craft activities, but that might be something that I end up doing a bit more of next year, and I'll just focus on drawing tutorials this year unless I can find a few little resources just to maybe film a couple of Christmas craft ones. I would eventually love to do like little Christmas craft ones in person with kids and actually do like proper Christmas art and craft workshops, but again that will have to be next year. It's one of my main aims and dream goals for next year, is to have my own little business where I run children's art and craft activities, especially at this time of year. I'd think I'd be in my element, to be honest. I found some spare little scrap bits of paper, just got to check that they actually do fit, because I don't really want to make life harder for myself by making the drawings too much bigger. That's fine. Yep, good. Right, so I can get these basically re-sketched out onto here. Found some scrap tracing paper. Won't be able to fit all of them in, but it's a start. Okay. Obviously I've got the rest of them that I can trace, and the ones in my other sketchbooks as well that I want to do as a kids art and craft tutorial. But for now, I'm just going to get these ones transferred onto some better paper. Let me just quickly find my graphite stick. Ta-da! Let's quickly get these transferred onto this piece of art. You notice I've turned the picture over. I'm just going to scribble it over the lines. We turn it back over again, place it where I want it, and I'm just gonna draw over these marks again. Okay, so I've just sat and transferred a few of these little doodles onto some separate pieces of paper. I probably ain't going to paint them tonight because I just need to double check and have a think about what I'm going to use to paint them with, whether I'm going to go like watercolour paints or whether I'm just going to use like felt tip and colouring pencils. I think these could actually end up being quite little productive illustrations in the future. I sort of wish I'd got round to doing these things earlier, because I could scan them into Photoshop and turn them into colouring book pages. I could make little like gift tags out of some of them. I could have made cards out of some of them, make like activity sheets using them. Also just had a thought, I wonder if, let me see what size they are compared to my little wooden shapes. So yeah, I could eventually burn them onto like little wooden bits and pieces. Let me just quickly get out one of my little baubles. So yeah, he could end up being painted on a little bauble. It's quite handy that I've got it already sketched out. It might need to be a bit smaller, but yeah, he could fit quite nicely onto some baubles. Could have also made some like little needle felted characters of them, or some spun cotton characters of them, animations, just loads and loads of stuff. And that might end up being something that I look into doing more in the future. But yeah, at least they are now ready and raring to go on them, and I'll probably work into them a little bit more tomorrow. I'm going to keep the little trades and paper thing as well, because it might come come in handy for, as I say, painting baubles. Also, if I've got it already drawn out on tracing paper, I can then do my little thing about creating the little Christmas stocking and stuff like that. That's definitely something I think I'm going to start doing a lot more of, going through some of my little character doodles, getting them drawn up onto these, turn them into colouring book pages and activity packs and video tutorials and stuff like that. I can even do a similar thing when it comes to my like daily doodles that I do. So what should I do next this evening? I really fancy doing something to do with baubles. I think I'm going to try and draw out or sketch out a couple of baubles. I might start by sketching out my little dino with his teddy bear onto a bauble. So there's my little dino fella roughly sketched out onto this little bauble. He changed the shape of his nose so it matches a bit more the original drawing. I've sort of changed his hand position on the bear and stuff like that. But yeah, he's sort of sketched out and hopefully ready to paint tomorrow. The only thing I can't quite decide is what to do with the other side of the bauble. Part of me kind of might just paint it so that this is all dark green, this is like a white colour, and then he's like a lighter green. I think that could work quite nicely, and this could all be sparkly and stuff. The other half of me is wondering whether to do another dinosaur on the back, and then another half of me is wondering whether perhaps I should write a little story about my little dino character to explain why he's so happy, and to kind of do it so the bauble is almost like telling the story of why he's happy. He's nicely sketched out and ready to be painted. He'll probably change shape quite a lot. Little rough guesstimate of where I'm going to put him on the bauble.